Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible journey into the fascinating world of rare and historic coins. Today, we are diving deep into the story of a small copper coin that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters for generations. At first glance, it may look like nothing more than an old penny, worn from decades of circulation and forgotten by time. But as you will soon discover, this humble Lincoln Wheat penny carries with it a remarkable history, a connection to one of the most important periods in American history, and a mystery that continues to inspire collectors around the world. Before we begin, I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself opening an old wooden box hidden away in an attic, basement, or family storage room. Inside are photographs, letters, and keepsakes that have not seen daylight for decades. As you carefully sort through these forgotten treasures, your eyes suddenly catch a small copper coin resting quietly among the memories of another era. You pick it up, wipe away the dust, and notice the date stamped on its surface. In that moment, what seemed like an ordinary penny becomes a doorway to the past. Could this coin have traveled through busy city streets during one of the most important decades of the 20th century? Could it have passed through the hands of workers, soldiers, shopkeepers, or families who lived through historic events that changed the world forever? What stories would this coin tell if it could speak? These are the questions that make coin collecting one of the most exciting and rewarding hobbies in the world. Today, we are going to uncover the complete story behind this historic Lincoln Wheat penny. We will explore its origins, the era in which it was created, the people who may have used it, the mysteries surrounding old coins, and the reasons why collectors continue searching for these remarkable pieces of history. Along the way, you may discover details that completely change the way you look at old pennies forever. Many people overlook old coins because they seem common or insignificant. Yet some of the greatest discoveries in numismatic history have started with a coin that appeared ordinary at first glance. Hidden among millions of coins can be examples with fascinating stories, unusual characteristics, and historical importance that make them highly desirable among collectors. This possibility is what keeps treasure hunters searching through old collections year after year. So before you spend that old wheat penny or leave it forgotten in a drawer, make sure you watch until the very end. The coin we are discussing today is more than a piece of copper. It is a surviving witness to history, a silent traveler through time, and a remarkable artifact from a world that no longer exists. Its journey spans generations and its story is waiting to be told. Get comfortable because we are about to travel back in time and uncover the incredible history, mystery, and legacy of one of the most fascinating Lincoln Wheat pennies ever produced. You might never look at an old penny the same way again. Coin number 1 wondered whether a single penny hidden inside an old coin jar, forgotten drawer, or inherited collection could hold an incredible secret. Imagine discovering a worn 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny and learning that some collectors consider certain rare examples among the most desirable cents ever produced. For decades, stories have circulated throughout the coin collecting world about valuable Lincoln cents, inspiring millions of people to search through pocket change, old piggy banks, and family coin collections. While most 1958 Lincoln Wheat pennies are common and worth only a modest amount in circulated condition, the year 1958 remains one of the most fascinating dates in the history of American coinage because of the extraordinary rarity associated with certain era varieties. Today, we are diving deep into the history, mystery, value, and collecting significance of the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny, uncovering why this humble copper coin continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. To understand the importance of the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny, we must first travel back to the beginning of the Lincoln cent series. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regularly circulating United States coin to feature the portrait of a real historical person. Prior to that, American coins generally displayed symbolic representations of liberty rather than actual individuals. The decision to place Lincoln on the cent was considered revolutionary at the time, and the coin quickly became one of the most recognizable pieces of American currency ever produced. The designer responsible for the Lincoln cent was Victor David Brenner, a talented sculptor whose portrait of Abraham Lincoln became one of the most enduring designs in numismatic history. Brenner's depiction showed Lincoln facing right with a calm and dignified expression. On the reverse side, 2 wheat stalks framed the words 1 cent and United States of America, giving rise to the nickname Wheat Penny. This elegant design remained in production from 1909 through 1958, creating a nearly 50-year chapter in American coinage history. By the time 1958 arrived, the wheat penny was nearing the end of its historic journey. America was experiencing tremendous economic growth, technological innovation, and cultural change. The nation was in the midst of the post-war boom, and millions of pennies were needed to support daily commerce. Every year, the United States Mint produced enormous quantities of Lincoln cents to meet public demand. These coins flowed through banks, businesses, and households, becoming part of everyday life for countless Americans. The year 1958 would become especially significant because it marked the final year of the wheat penny design. Beginning in 1959, the reverse design would change to feature the Lincoln Memorial. As a result, every 1958 wheat penny represents the conclusion of an era that had lasted nearly half a century. Collectors often view final year issues as historically important because they symbolize the end of a long-running design series. Denver Mint played an important role in producing Lincoln cents during 1958. Coins struck at Denver carry a small D mint mark beneath the date. The 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced in massive quantities, with hundreds of millions entering circulation. Because so many were minted, ordinary circulated examples remain relatively common today. This fact often surprises beginners who assume that all old coins must automatically be rare and valuable. Most circulated 1958 D wheat pennies spent years changing hands in stores, restaurants, gas stations, and banks. As they circulated, they developed wear from everyday use. Lincoln's hair became smoother, fine details gradually disappeared, and the original mint luster faded. Every scratch mark and worn surface became part of the coin's journey through history. These signs of circulation may reduce collector value, but they also tell the story of a coin that faithfully served its purpose for decades. One of the reasons people become fascinated by old pennies is the possibility of finding something extraordinary. Throughout history, rare errors and unusual varieties have occasionally escaped into circulation. These coins often become legendary among collectors because they are dramatically different from ordinary issues. The dream of discovering one of these hidden treasures keeps collectors searching through countless coins year after year. Among all Lincoln cent rarities, one of the most famous is the 1958 doubled die obverse cent. This remarkable error has become legendary because of its extreme rarity and striking appearance. On genuine examples, the date and lettering show dramatic doubling that is visible without sophisticated equipment. The effect is so strong that experienced collectors can often identify it immediately. To appreciate why this error is so important, it helps to understand how coin dies are created. A coin die is the tool used to strike the design onto a blank metal planchet. During the die manufacturing process, mistakes can occasionally occur. In the case of a true doubled die, the design is impressed onto the die more than once in slightly different positions. The resulting die then transfers the doubled design to every coin it strikes. What makes the 1958 doubled die especially extraordinary is its rarity. Only a tiny number of genuine examples are known. Compared to the billions of Lincoln cents produced over the years, this is an incredibly small population. As a result, whenever one appears at auction, it attracts intense interest from advanced collectors and investors. Auction records have demonstrated the tremendous demand for this famous error. Collectors recognize that opportunities to acquire such a rarity are exceptionally uncommon. The combination of historical significance, visual appeal, and extreme scarcity has helped make the 1958 doubled die one of the most celebrated coins in American numismatics. Stories about valuable pennies often spread rapidly. News of major auction sales encourages people to search through old collections, inherited coin albums, and forgotten jars of change. The idea that a seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a fortune captures the imagination in a way that few collectibles can match. However, it is important to separate fact from fiction. A normal circulated 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny is generally not worth millions of dollars. Most examples are valued primarily for their historical interest rather than extraordinary rarity. The truly valuable pieces are specific rare varieties, major errors, or exceptionally preserved examples in outstanding condition. Condition plays a critical role in determining coin value. Numismatists use grading systems to evaluate preservation. Coins that retain sharp details, original surfaces, and mint luster are generally more desirable than heavily worn examples. Even common dates can command significant premiums if they survive in unusually high grades. Copper coins are especially vulnerable to environmental damage. Moisture, improper storage, and chemical exposure can cause discoloration, corrosion, and surface deterioration. Collectors therefore place considerable importance on originality and preservation. A coin that has been carefully stored for decades often commands greater respect than one that has been cleaned or altered. The metal composition of the 1958 wheat penny also contributes to its historical appeal. These coins were struck primarily from an alloy consisting of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. Their rich reddish color and distinctive appearance make them instantly recognizable to generations of collectors. Many collectors enjoy searching bank rolls for wheat pennies because each coin offers a direct connection to the past. Holding a 1958 wheat penny can feel like holding a small piece of American history. The coin may have circulated during the presidency of Dwight Eisenhower, witnessed the early years of the space age, and passed through countless hands before reaching a modern collection. The final year status of the 1958 wheat penny adds another layer of significance. Last year issues often attract collectors who appreciate transitional moments in history. The coin represents the closing chapter of a design that had become an American icon. Numismatics is filled with stories of unexpected discoveries. Rare coins have been found in estate collections, family heirlooms, and even loose change. These discoveries remind collectors that important treasures can sometimes remain hidden for decades before being recognized. The excitement of the hunt is one of the greatest attractions of coin collecting. Every coin examined carries the possibility of revealing something unusual. Although major discoveries are rare, the search itself provides endless enjoyment for enthusiasts around the world. Collectors often study mint marks, die varieties, and production characteristics to identify unusual coins. Careful observation and knowledge can transform an ordinary search into an exciting educational experience. The more collectors learn, the better their chances of recognizing something special. The Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. Its long history, affordability, and variety of dates and eras make it appealing to both beginners and advanced specialists. The 1958 wheat penny occupies a special place within that tradition because it marks the end of the wheat design era. As the decades pass, surviving examples continue to disappear due to loss, damage, and melting. This gradual reduction in population increases the historical importance of remaining specimens. Each surviving coin serves as a small ambassador from a different era. Many collectors remember the excitement of finding their first wheat penny. The distinctive wheat stalks immediately stand out from modern cents, creating a sense of discovery and curiosity. For some, that first find becomes the beginning of a lifelong hobby. Coin collecting is about more than monetary value. It is also about history, craftsmanship, education, and the stories behind the objects we use every day. Even a common wheat penny can inspire interest in American history and the development of the nation's currency. The enduring popularity of the Lincoln cent reflects the lasting legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. More than a century after the coin's introduction, his portrait continues to circulate in the pockets and collections of millions of people. Whether a 1958 D wheat penny is heavily worn or beautifully preserved, it remains a tangible link to the past. Every mark and detail reflects decades of movement through the economy and countless moments in everyday life. The dream of discovering a rare coin continues to inspire collectors worldwide. While most searches do not result in life-changing discoveries, the possibility remains part of the excitement. Every collection, no matter how small, holds the potential for surprises. For many collectors, the true reward is not a fortune but the knowledge gained through exploration. Learning to identify varieties, understand minting processes, and appreciate historical context transforms simple coins into fascinating artifacts. The story of the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny demonstrates how an ordinary object can acquire extraordinary meaning. It represents history, craftsmanship, collecting passion, and the enduring appeal of the treasure hunt. In the end, the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny stands as one of the most memorable issues in the entire Lincoln Cent series. As the final wheat penny ever produced, it symbolizes the conclusion of a remarkable chapter in American coinage. Whether found in circulation, preserved in an album, or inherited from a family member, it continues to capture imaginations and remind collectors that sometimes the most fascinating stories can be hidden inside the smallest pieces of copper. Coin number 2. Imagine discovering an old copper penny hidden inside a dusty box that has not been opened for decades. The coin looks ordinary at first glance. Its surface is worn from years of circulation, the details are softened by time, and the copper color has darkened with age. Yet the date catches your attention, 1946. Suddenly, questions begin racing through your mind. Where has this coin traveled? Who held it during the years immediately following World War II? Could this small piece of copper be hiding a remarkable story that collectors would love to hear? Today, we are exploring the fascinating history of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny, one of the most interesting coins from America's post-war era. The year 1946 was a turning point in world history. The Second World War had ended only months earlier, and nations around the globe were beginning the difficult process of rebuilding. Millions of soldiers were returning home, industries were shifting back to civilian production, and families were looking toward a brighter future. During this historic period, the United States Mint continued producing Lincoln Wheat Pennies that would circulate throughout the nation and become silent witnesses to an era of tremendous change. When people hold a 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny, they are holding more than a coin. They are holding a direct connection to a remarkable moment in history. This penny may have passed through the hands of veterans returning from overseas service. It may have been exchanged in grocery stores, movie theaters, train stations, or family-owned businesses during one of the most significant years of the 20th century. The Lincoln cent itself had already become an American icon by 1946. First introduced in 1909, it was the first regularly circulating United States coin to feature a real historical figure. Abraham Lincoln's portrait represented unity, perseverance, and leadership. These values carried special meaning for Americans emerging from the hardships of war. The reverse side of the coin featured the famous wheat ears design. Two elegant wheat stalks framed the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design symbolized prosperity, agriculture, and the nation's economic strength. For nearly 50 years, the wheat penny served as one of the most recognizable coins in American commerce. A 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this era, Philadelphia-produced cents generally did not display a mint mark. This simple detail often sparks curiosity among collectors because mint marks help identify where a coin was manufactured. Millions of 1946 pennies were produced and released into circulation. They traveled across cities, small towns, and rural communities. They paid for newspapers, candy, bus fares, and countless everyday purchases. Every worn example tells a story of movement through history. The worn condition of a circulated coin is often overlooked by people outside the hobby. Yet many collectors appreciate the character of a coin that spent decades in circulation. Every scratch, every smooth surface, and every faded detail serves as evidence of a long and fascinating journey through time. Some people dream that an old penny might be worth a fortune. Stories of rare coins selling for extraordinary amounts have inspired generations of treasure hunters. These stories encourage people to search old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers for hidden treasures. Although a normal circulated 1946 Philadelphia wheat penny is generally common, certain rare varieties and exceptional examples attract significant attention from collectors. The possibility of discovering something unusual is one reason coin collecting remains so popular around the world. The copper composition of the 1946 wheat penny adds to its historical appeal. Unlike many modern coins, these cents contained a high percentage of copper, giving them a distinctive appearance and feel. Their warm color has become one of the most beloved characteristics of classic American coinage. The years surrounding World War II produced some of the most famous coins in American history. Collectors often study these coins closely because they reflect a period of dramatic social, economic, and technological transformation. The 1946 wheat penny occupies an important place within this historic timeline. Many collectors are drawn to coins because they represent tangible pieces of history. Books can describe the past, photographs can illustrate it, but coins were actually present during historic events. A 1946 penny existed during a year when the world was entering a completely new chapter. As decades passed, many 1946 wheat pennies disappeared from circulation. Some were lost, some were damaged, and others were melted. Every surviving example represents a small piece of history that has endured despite the passage of time. Collectors often search through rolls of pennies hopping to find wheat cents. The appearance of the wheat stalks on the reverse side immediately signals that the coin comes from a different era. Even common wheat pennies create excitement because they connect collectors to the past. The Lincoln Cent series is among the most collected coin series in the world. Its popularity comes from its affordability, long history, and wide variety of dates, mint marks, and collectible varieties. The 1946 issue remains an important part of this beloved series. Condition plays a major role in determining collector value. Coins that retain sharp details and original surfaces are generally more desirable than heavily worn examples. Nevertheless, circulated coins often possess historical charm that many collectors appreciate. Some collectors specialize in building complete date-and mint collections of Lincoln Wheat Pennies. For these collectors, the 1946 Philadelphia issue represents an essential part of the set. Every coin contributes to the larger story of American coinage. The post-war economy created enormous demand for coinage. Businesses were thriving, consumer spending was increasing, and commerce required a steady supply of small-denomination coins. The 1946 wheat penny helped support this expanding economy. Every coin has a story, even if that story can never be fully known. A particular 1946 penny may have crossed state lines, changed hands thousands of times, and witnessed events large and small. Its exact journey remains a mystery hidden within the passage of time. The mystery surrounding old coins is one of the reasons they continue to fascinate collectors. Each coin invites questions: who owned it, where did it travel, what historic moments occurred while it circulated? Rare coin discoveries have fueled collector excitement for generations. Occasionally, unusual varieties, minting errors, or overlooked treasures emerge from ordinary collections. These discoveries remind collectors to inspect every coin carefully. Even experienced numismatists continue learning throughout their collecting careers. New research, improved understanding of die varieties, and fresh discoveries keep the hobby dynamic and exciting. Every coin contributes to this ongoing exploration. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is particularly beloved because it combines accessibility with historical significance. Beginners can easily acquire examples, while advanced collectors can pursue rare dates, varieties, and high-grade specimens. The artistic design of the wheat penny has also contributed to its popularity. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln remains one of the most respected designs in American numismatic history. The simplicity and elegance of the design have stood the test of time. When collectors examine a worn 1946 wheat penny, they often imagine the era in which it circulated. They picture busy streets, classic automobiles, post-war optimism, and communities rebuilding after years of global conflict. The coin's copper surfaces serve as a physical reminder of a different America. Every surviving penny connects modern collectors to people who lived, worked, and dreamed during the mid-20th century. Coin collecting is not solely about money. It is also about discovery, education, and appreciation for history. Many collectors treasure their coins because of the stories they represent rather than their market value. The 1946 wheat penny symbolizes resilience and renewal. It emerged during a year when nations were rebuilding and ordinary people were looking toward a brighter future. This historical context gives the coin a special significance. Collectors frequently pass their coins to future generations, preserving both the coins and the stories attached to them. A 1946 wheat penny can become a family heirloom that carries memories across decades. As time continues moving forward, the number of surviving wheat pennies gradually decreases. This reality makes every remaining example an increasingly important historical artifact. Many people begin collecting after finding a single old coin. A worn 1946 wheat penny discovered in change can spark curiosity and lead to a lifelong fascination with history and numismatics. The excitement of searching through coins remains one of the hobby's greatest attractions. Every search offers the possibility of uncovering something unexpected, whether valuable, historic, or simply interesting. For generations, the Lincoln Wheat Penny has captured the imagination of collectors. Its blend of history, artistry, and accessibility ensures that it remains one of the most beloved coins ever produced by the United States Mint. The story of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny is ultimately a story about history preserved in copper. Though small in size, it carries the memory of a remarkable era and continues to inspire collectors around the world. Whether worn smooth by decades of circulation or carefully preserved in a collection, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny remains a fascinating reminder that even the smallest objects can carry extraordinary stories through time. Coin number 3. Imagine opening an old wooden chest that has been sitting untouched in an attic for generations. Dust fills the air as sunlight shines through a nearby window. Hidden among forgotten keepsakes, faded photographs, and relics from another era, you discover a small copper coin. It appears ordinary at first glance. The edges are worn, the design has softened with age. The rich copper color has darkened after decades of circulation. Then you notice the date. It reads 1941. Suddenly, that tiny coin becomes much more than a penny. It becomes a surviving witness to one of the most important years in modern history. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny stands at the edge of a world about to change forever. During that year, America was still experiencing a period of transition. Families were building their futures, businesses were growing, and communities were living ordinary lives. Yet beneath the surface, powerful events were unfolding across the globe. History was moving toward a dramatic turning point, and the humble Lincoln cent would quietly travel through this remarkable era. Every old coin tells a story, but some coins seem to carry an entire generation within their metal surfaces. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of those coins. It existed during a year filled with anticipation, uncertainty, and change. It passed through the hands of people who could never have imagined that their everyday pocket change would one day become a collectible piece of history. When the Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909, it represented a revolutionary moment in American coinage. For the first time, a real historical figure appeared on a regularly circulating United States coin. Abraham Lincoln's portrait quickly became one of the most recognizable images in the nation. Decades later, in 1941, his image continued to inspire confidence, strength, and unity. The wheat penny design had already become a beloved symbol of American life. The reverse side featured two elegant wheat stalks surrounding the denomination and national inscription. This simple yet beautiful design reflected America's agricultural roots and its enduring spirit of growth and prosperity. A 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions of these coins were produced and released into circulation. They entered stores, banks, restaurants, movie theaters, train stations, and countless other places where Americans lived and worked. No one paid special attention to these pennies when they were new. They were created for everyday use. They purchased newspapers, candy, bus tickets, and household necessities. Yet the passage of time transformed them into historical artifacts that now fascinate collectors around the world. Imagine the journey of a single 1941 penny. It may have traveled through dozens of cities and towns. It may have crossed state lines countless times. It may have been carried by workers, students, travelers, and families. Each owner added another chapter to a story that can never be completely known. The worn condition of a circulated coin is often what makes it interesting. Every scratch represents contact with another object. Every smooth surface reflects years of handling. Every faded detail serves as evidence of a long and active life in circulation. Collectors often refer to coins as miniature time machines. Unlike books or photographs, coins actually participated in history. They were physically present during the events they represent. A 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny existed during a period when the world was rapidly changing. Many people dream of finding a valuable coin hidden among ordinary change. Stories of rare discoveries have fueled the imagination of collectors for generations. Tales of forgotten treasures found in old collections continue to inspire searches today. The excitement surrounding Lincoln cents comes partly from the possibility of discovering something unusual. Certain rare varieties, minting errors, and exceptional specimens have achieved legendary status among collectors. These stories encourage people to inspect every old penny they encounter. Although most circulated 1941 wheat pennies are common, they remain highly collectible because of their historical significance. Their value lies not only in rarity but also in the remarkable era they represent. The copper composition of these coins contributes greatly to their appeal. Their warm reddish-brown appearance distinguishes them from many modern coins. Even heavily circulated examples often display a character and beauty that collectors admire. During 1941, millions of Americans carried coins just like this one in their pockets every day. These coins participated in ordinary transactions while extraordinary events unfolded around them. They became silent witnesses to history. One of the most fascinating aspects of coin collecting is the mystery. Every old coin raises questions. Who owned it? Where did it travel? What important moments occurred while it circulated? These unanswered questions give each coin a unique identity. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series remains one of the most popular collecting fields in the world. Its long history, classic design, and accessibility make it appealing to collectors of all ages and experience levels. Many collectors spend years building complete wheat penny collections. Each date adds another piece to the larger historical puzzle. The 1941 issue serves as an important link between earlier decades and the wartime years that followed. The artistry of the Lincoln cent deserves special recognition. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln remains one of the most admired coin designs in American history. More than a century after its creation, it continues to attract praise from collectors and historians alike. As decades passed, many 1941 wheat pennies disappeared. Some were lost forever. Others were damaged beyond recognition. Many simply wore out after years of circulation. Every surviving example represents a small victory over time. Collectors often search through old coin jars hopping to discover wheat pennies. The appearance of the wheat stalks immediately signals a connection to another era. Even common examples generate excitement because they provide a tangible link to history. The year 1941 occupies a special place in the American story. It was a year of preparation, uncertainty, and transformation. Coins from that year carry the atmosphere of a nation standing at the threshold of change. A circulated 1941 penny may not possess dazzling mint luster or perfect surfaces, but it possesses something equally important. It possesses authenticity. Its wear reflects a genuine life spent in circulation. Some coins remain locked away in collections for decades. Others continue traveling from person to person. Every path creates a different story, making each surviving coin unique despite sharing the same date and design. Numismatics, the study of coins, offers a remarkable way to explore history. Coins provide direct evidence of economic conditions, artistic trends, and technological capabilities from different periods. Many collectors become fascinated by the detective work involved in coin collecting. They examine dates, mint marks, die varieties, and historical records, searching for clues that reveal a coin's significance. The Lincoln Wheat Penny has inspired generations of collectors because it combines history with accessibility. Almost anyone can begin searching for old pennies and learning about their stories. The survival of a 1941 wheat penny into the modern era is remarkable when one considers how many coins were lost, damaged, or discarded over the decades. Each surviving specimen represents a small piece of preserved history. Old coins often become family heirlooms passed from one generation to the next. Along with the coins themselves come stories, memories, and traditions that strengthen family connections. Collectors frequently describe the thrill of holding a coin that existed during major historical events. A 1941 wheat penny provides exactly that experience, creating a tangible connection to a pivotal year. The passage of time has transformed ordinary pennies into historical treasures. What was once simple pocket change has become an object of fascination for collectors and historians around the world. Every mark on a circulated coin tells a story. Every worn detail reflects years of movement through an economy that no longer exists in the same form. These signs of age become part of the coin's character. The enduring popularity of the Lincoln cent reflects the lasting legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. His image continues to appear on American coinage more than a century after its introduction. Many people begin collecting coins after finding a single wheat penny. That discovery sparks curiosity, and curiosity often grows into a lifelong appreciation for history and collecting. As time continues to pass, surviving wheat pennies become increasingly important as historical artifacts. Each one preserves a small fragment of the world from which it came. The search for hidden treasures remains one of the hobby's greatest attractions. Although truly rare discoveries are uncommon, the possibility keeps collectors searching year after year. More than 80 years after it was struck, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to capture imaginations. It reminds us that history is often preserved in the smallest and most unexpected places. Whether found in a forgotten collection, inherited from a family member, or discovered in an old jar of coins, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny remains a powerful symbol of America's past. Its true value is not measured solely by dollars and cents. Its greatest value lies in the history, mystery, and human stories embedded within its copper surface. In the end, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny stands as a remarkable survivor from a transformative era. It has traveled through generations, witnessed history, and endured the passage of time. That enduring journey is what makes this humble copper coin one of the most fascinating collectibles in American numismatic history. Coin number 4. Imagine reaching into an old wooden box that has not been opened for generations and discovering a small copper coin hidden beneath decades of dust. At first glance, it appears ordinary. Its edges are worn, its surface shows the marks of countless transactions, and its copper color has darkened with age. Then your eyes focus on the date. The year reads 1942. Suddenly, that tiny piece of metal becomes much more than a penny. It becomes a survivor from one of the most dramatic periods in human history. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny carries with it the story of a nation at war, a changing world, and the dreams of millions of people who lived through extraordinary times. The year 1942 was unlike any year that had come before it. The United States had recently entered World War II, and the entire nation was mobilizing for a conflict that would shape the future of the world. Factories operated around the clock, families adjusted to wartime life, and millions of young men and women answered the call to serve. Amid these historic events, the humble Lincoln Wheat Penny continued to circulate through American communities, silently witnessing one of the most important chapters in modern history. When collectors hold a 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny today, they are touching an object that existed during a time of uncertainty, sacrifice, and determination. This coin may have been carried in the pocket of a factory worker building aircraft for the war effort. It may have changed hands in a small-town grocery store, or traveled across the country in the wallet of a soldier preparing for deployment. Every surviving example carries an invisible connection to the people and events of its era. The Lincoln cent had already established itself as one of America's most beloved coins by 1942. Introduced in 1909, it honored Abraham Lincoln, one of the nation's most respected presidents. His portrait on the obverse represented strength, leadership, and perseverance, qualities that resonated deeply with Americans facing the challenges of wartime. The reverse side featured the iconic wheat ears design. Two graceful wheat stalks framed the words 1 cent and United States of America. The design symbolized agricultural abundance and national prosperity. For decades, these wheat stalks became familiar to generations of Americans who handled pennies every day. A 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During that era, Philadelphia cents generally did not display a mint mark. This simple detail makes the no mint mark variety a recognizable and important part of the Lincoln cent series. Millions of 1942 pennies were produced and released into circulation. They quickly became part of everyday life. People used them to purchase newspapers, candy, bus tickets, and countless household necessities. These coins passed through countless hands, becoming silent witnesses to history in motion. Every circulated example tells a unique story. The worn surfaces reveal years of use. The smooth high points on Lincoln's portrait and the softened details on the wheat stalks reflect decades of movement through commerce. These signs of wear are evidence that the coin fulfilled its purpose during a remarkable period in American history. Many people dream of finding a coin worth a fortune. Stories of rare pennies selling for extraordinary prices have inspired generations of treasure hunters. The possibility that an ordinary-looking coin could hold hidden value creates excitement every time someone searches through an old collection. Although most 1942 wheat pennies are common, the year remains important because it sits on the threshold of major wartime changes in American coin production. Only 1 year later, in 1943, the United States Mint famously produced steel cents to conserve copper for the war effort. As a result, The 1942 copper wheat penny represents the final full year before one of the most unusual changes in American coinage history. Collectors often view the 1942 issue as a bridge between two different eras. On one side stands pre-war America. On the other stands the dramatic wartime period that transformed industries, technologies, and daily life. This historical position gives the coin lasting significance. The copper composition of the 1942 Lincoln cent contributes greatly to its appeal. The warm reddish-brown metal has become one of the defining characteristics of classic American pennies. Even after decades of circulation, many examples retain traces of their original beauty. Coin collecting is filled with stories of remarkable discoveries. Rare varieties, unusual minting errors, and overlooked treasures occasionally emerge from old collections. These discoveries remind collectors that surprises can still be found in unexpected places. Some collectors spend years searching through rolls of pennies hoping to uncover something special. The thrill of the hunt is one of the hobby's greatest attractions. Every coin examined presents a new possibility and a new mystery waiting to be solved. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series remains one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. Its popularity stems from its rich history, affordable entry point, and wide variety of collectible dates and varieties. The 1942 issue occupies an important place within that tradition. Condition plays a major role in determining value. A heavily circulated coin generally commands less interest than a sharply preserved specimen. Yet many collectors appreciate circulated examples because they display evidence of a genuine journey through history. The years of World War II created countless stories of courage and sacrifice. Coins from this era connect collectors to those experiences in a tangible way. A 1942 penny may have existed during historic speeches, major battles, and world-changing events. As decades passed, many 1942 wheat pennies disappeared through loss, damage, or neglect. Every surviving example represents a small piece of the past that managed to endure despite the passage of time. The artistic beauty of Victor David Brenner's Lincoln portrait remains one of the reasons collectors continue to admire the series. His design has survived for more than a century and remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. For many collectors, the appeal of a coin extends beyond financial value. Coins serve as miniature historical documents. They preserve evidence of economic conditions, technological capabilities, and artistic preferences from different periods. When a collector studies a 1942 wheat penny, they often imagine the world in which it circulated. They picture busy train stations, wartime factories, neighborhood shops, and families gathering around radios for news updates from overseas. Every scratch and mark on the coin reflects real interactions with real people. These imperfections transform an ordinary object into a witness to history. The mystery surrounding old coins continues to captivate collectors around the globe. Questions about where a coin traveled and who may have owned it create a sense of connection to the past that few other collectibles can match. Numismatics is not merely the study of coins, it is the study of history through objects that participated directly in daily life. Every coin offers a unique perspective on the era that produced it. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny occupies a particularly fascinating position because it was produced during a year of national transformation. America was adapting to wartime realities while preparing for challenges that would define an entire generation. Many collectors remember the excitement of discovering their first wheat penny. The distinctive wheat stalks instantly distinguish it from modern cents and create an immediate connection to an earlier era. As interest in coin collecting continues to grow, historic issues like the 1942 wheat penny remain popular among both beginners and experienced collectors. Their accessibility and historical significance ensure enduring demand. The search for rare coins has become a global passion. Millions of people examine old change hopping to uncover something extraordinary. Although major discoveries are uncommon, the excitement of possibility never disappears. Every surviving 1942 wheat penny represents resilience. It has survived economic changes, technological advances, and the simple wear of time. Its continued existence is a testament to the durability of both the coin and the history it represents. For generations, collectors have preserved these coins because they recognize their importance. Each coin serves as a small ambassador from a remarkable period in American history. Whether found in a family collection, an estate sale, or a forgotten jar of change, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to spark curiosity and imagination. Its story remains alive every time a collector takes the time to examine it. The enduring appeal of this coin comes not only from its age but from the history it represents. It stands as a reminder of a year when the world faced enormous challenges and ordinary people demonstrated extraordinary determination. More than 80 years after it was struck, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to fascinate collectors around the world. It remains a symbol of history, perseverance, and the timeless excitement of discovery. In the end, the true treasure of the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not found in fantasies of instant wealth, but in the remarkable story carried within its copper surfaces. It is a story of war, resilience, change, and survival, a story that continues to inspire every new generation of collectors who encounter this historic coin. Coin number 5. Imagine opening an old family coin box that has remained untouched for generations. Hidden among ordinary coins, your eyes suddenly lock onto a worn copper penny carrying the date 1945. At first glance, it seems like just another old coin. The edges are smooth from decades of circulation, the details have softened with time, and the once bright copper surface now carries the deep tones of age. Yet this small piece of metal comes from one of the most important years in human history. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is more than a coin. It is a silent witness to the end of World War II, a survivor from a world that was changing forever. The year 1945 marked the conclusion of a conflict that had reshaped nations, economies, and countless lives. Across the globe, people celebrated the end of years filled with sacrifice and uncertainty. Soldiers returned home, industries prepared for peacetime production, and families looked toward a future filled with hope. During this extraordinary period, millions of Lincoln Wheat Pennies continued to circulate through American communities, becoming part of everyday life during a historic transition. When you hold a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, you are holding an artifact from a moment when history itself was being written. This coin may have rested in the pocket of a factory worker helping support the war effort. It may have been exchanged in a neighborhood grocery store, carried across state lines by a traveler, or saved by someone who hoped for a better future after years of hardship. The Lincoln cent had already become an American icon by 1945. First introduced in 1909, it was the first circulating United States coin to feature a real historical figure. Abraham Lincoln's image represented unity, leadership, and perseverance. These qualities held special meaning during a time when the nation was overcoming one of the greatest challenges in its history. The reverse side displayed the famous wheat ears design, a symbol recognized by generations of Americans. Two wheat stalks framed the denomination and national inscription, creating one of the most beloved designs in American coinage history. By 1945, the wheat penny had become a familiar companion in daily commerce. A 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this period, Philadelphia-produced cents generally carried no mint mark. This simple detail helps collectors identify the coin's place of origin and contributes to its historical significance. Millions of these pennies entered circulation in 1945. They passed through stores, restaurants, train stations, and banks. Every transaction added another chapter to the coin's journey. Unlike coins preserved immediately after minting, circulated examples developed character through years of use. The worn condition of a circulated coin tells a story all its own. The fatting details on Lincoln's portrait and the softened wheat stalks are evidence of decades spent in circulation. Each mark represents a small piece of history, a reminder that the coin participated in the daily lives of countless people. Many people are fascinated by stories of valuable pennies. Tales of rare discoveries have inspired treasure hunters for generations. The possibility that an ordinary-looking coin could hide extraordinary value has encouraged millions of people to search through old collections and forgotten containers of change. Although most 1945 wheat pennies are common, the year remains highly significant because it stands at the end of World War II. Coins from this era carry historical importance that extends beyond simple monetary value. They represent a world emerging from conflict and entering a new chapter of prosperity and innovation. The copper composition of the 1945 Lincoln cent adds to its appeal. Unlike modern cents, these coins contain a substantial amount of copper, giving them a rich appearance that collectors admire. Even heavily circulated examples often retain traces of their original beauty. Coin collecting is filled with stories of unexpected discoveries. Rare varieties and unusual minting errors have occasionally emerged from ordinary collections, proving that remarkable finds can still happen. These stories keep the spirit of treasure hunting alive. Collectors often search through thousands of pennies hopping to uncover something unusual. The excitement lies not only in potential value but also in the possibility of connecting with history through a small but meaningful object. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series remains one of the most collected coin series in the world. Its popularity stems from its affordability, historical significance, and wide range of collectible dates and varieties. The 1945 issue occupies a special place within that story. Condition plays a major role in determining collector value. While circulated examples are common, coins preserved in exceptional condition can attract significant interest. Nevertheless, even worn coins possess historical charm that cannot be measured solely in dollars. The final year of World War II was filled with events that changed the course of history. Every 1945 wheat penny existed during that remarkable period. These coins witnessed celebrations, reunions, and the beginning of a new era. As decades passed, many 1945 pennies disappeared through loss, damage, and neglect. Every surviving example serves as a small time capsule from one of the 20th century's most important years. Collectors often imagine the journeys their coins have taken. A single penny may have traveled across the country, changed hands thousands of times, and participated in countless everyday transactions before arriving in a modern collection. The artistry of Victor David Brenner's Lincoln portrait continues to impress collectors more than a century after its introduction. His design remains one of the most enduring images in American numismatic history. Many collectors view old coins as historical documents struck in metal. Unlike books or photographs, coins actually circulated during the events they represent. They were present in the pockets and purses of ordinary people living through extraordinary times. The mystery surrounding old coins adds to their appeal. Every coin carries unanswered questions. Who owned it? Where did it travel? What events unfolded while it circulated? These mysteries encourage curiosity and imagination. Numismatics offers a unique way to explore history. Coins provide direct physical connections to the past, allowing collectors to study economic, political, and cultural developments through tangible objects. The 1945 wheat penny represents resilience. It emerged from a year marked by both hardship and hope. Its continued survival reflects the enduring nature of historical artifacts and the stories they preserve. Many collectors remember finding their first wheat penny. The distinctive reverse design immediately signals a connection to another era. For some, that discovery becomes the beginning of a lifelong passion for coin collecting. The search for historic coins continues to attract enthusiasts around the world. Every coin examined carries the possibility of revealing something unexpected or historically significant. As time moves forward, surviving examples of 1945 wheat pennies become increasingly important as reminders of a generation that experienced extraordinary events. Each coin preserves a small piece of that legacy. Collectors often share stories about inherited coin collections. These collections create connections between generations and preserve family histories alongside numismatic treasures. The enduring popularity of the wheat penny reflects the timeless appeal of American history. Few coins have achieved the same level of recognition and affection among collectors. Every worn 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny carries evidence of its long journey. The smooth surfaces, faded details, and aged copper tones all contribute to its unique character. Some collectors focus on building complete wheat penny collections, carefully acquiring each date and mint mark. For them, the 1945 Philadelphia issue is an essential piece of the larger historical puzzle. The coin's historical context makes it especially appealing. It was produced during a year when nations celebrated victory, families reunited, and a new chapter of world history began. Even common coins can possess extraordinary stories. The true value of a historic coin often lies not in its market price but in the history it represents and the imagination it inspires. The Lincoln Wheat Penny remains a symbol of American coinage excellence. Its design, history, and accessibility ensure that it will continue captivating collectors for generations to come. As collectors study these coins, they gain a deeper appreciation for the people and events that shaped the modern world. Every coin becomes a gateway to understanding the past. More than 80 years after it was struck, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to inspire curiosity and admiration. It stands as a small but powerful reminder of a year that changed history forever. Whether discovered in an old collection, inherited from a relative, or found unexpectedly among loose change, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny remains one of the most fascinating survivors from the final year of World War II. In the end, the greatest treasure hidden within a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not a promise of instant riches but the remarkable story carried within its copper surface. It is a story of resilience, hope, survival, and history itself, preserved in a single cent for future generations to discover.